This is the story of Championing Student Success, CSS for short, a nonprofit in Washington State started by educators for students. Let's begin by looking at who is behind the organization, which is proving to be a powerful model for making a direct impact on our communities. The members of the CSS board have a history of commitment to public education. They're all educators who've worked in many positions at the school, district, and state level. They believe that education is the backbone of a democratic society, and the teachers in the community can make a difference for all students, no matter their race, income, or family background. In 2021, CSS was registered as a 501c3 nonprofit with the mission to support public schools serving low-income and minority students in Washington State. What is the strategy of CSS? The organization has a two-pronged approach, direct and straightforward. First is school grants. Each year they provide $2,000 grants to uplift schools that face a variety of challenges. These grants help fund projects to improve student learning and recognize teachers' hard work. Second, student scholarships. The CSS Excellence in Writing Scholarship awards $500 to $1,000 to help students pay for college or other post-secondary training. And what are some challenges facing public schools? Well, there are a lot of obstacles, some strong headwinds to overcome. For example, 87%. At one of the schools receiving a CSS grant, that's how many students live in poverty. A number like that immediately raises big questions. When schools serve our neediest students, how do we empower them to help every child not just get by, but actually thrive? Besides poverty, there are many other challenges that schools face daily, creating a complex web of obstacles. This includes high student mobility, significant numbers of families experiencing housing instability, students needing to learn English as a second language, lingering effects of the pandemic, and underfunded programs to address students' emotional needs. How does this model play out? Let's look at the impact the CSS grants have made. Lakeview Hope Academy used a grant to restore its poverty kiln, revitalizing its arts program. Bilingual students even helped translate for classmates while creating art together. Community building nights. Schools use the grant to host events for their communities, and every year CSS provides tickets for a teacher appreciation event at a Tacoma Rainier baseball game, complete with a teacher throwing the first pitch. The grants also support well-being and social-emotional learning. For example, Woodland Elementary created a Zen Den, a quiet place for students to relax and regulate their emotions before returning to class. Brookdale Elementary installed interactive sensory walls. One student shared, "The fidgets board helped me calm down when I'm mad." And there's building positive school culture. Custer Elementary hosted kindness assemblies, providing positive social-emotional learning and fostering a culture of empathy among students. Natchez Trail Elementary launched a Kindness Rock project. Students painted rocks with messages like "Choose love" and "Don't give up." The project received a lot of educator feedback. One principal indicated, "Our students lack many fundamental experiences that are typical in more affluent areas. The assembly, funded by the CSS grant, gave students a new experience and context for a broader worldview that will particularly help them with literacy and social studies." And another stated, "Students' reading levels increased. Math supports improved, and the summer slide was less impactful this school year." And here's the big picture. When you piece this together, a clear picture emerges. Small, targeted investments, guided by educators, empower schools to do remarkable things. As one student painted on a kindness rock at Natchez Trail Elementary, "You're like magic," and that's the heart of it. To a child who feels seen and supported, these small acts do feel like magic. It's about validation. It's educators saying, "We see your hard work, and we've got your back." How can you help? What small act of support could you or your community start to create waves of positive change? CSS's open invitation. Stop watching, start participating. Work with folks like yourself to see how you can support your public schools in ways large and small. Every contribution, money, time, just a pat on the back counts. Donate to organizations that are doing this work. You can support CSS at css-wa.org. Spread the word about this work. The more people who know, the more people who will pitch in.